So, good morning, guys. So, today we'll be continuing with the Ansible Day 21 session. So, before I get into this Ansible today, you know, like I just want to visit my channel, like just to show you that what are the things we have covered till now. See, we have covered up to Ansible Day 20 session, and today we'll be continuing with the Day 21, right? And like how much again I will be covering the Ansible, like again, like 2 to 3 sessions or max 4 sessions I will be covering in Ansible so that no, we will get into a completion stage. Okay, so that is one thing. And like many people see, firstly, I want to really apologize to everyone that no from last 1.5 month, right? We have not recorded any new video. So because of some again with some other issues and all right, and because of I am being busy at my life at work, like I couldn't really continue to record the sessions. But yeah, now I got free now, so I'll be continuing from now. So we will continue with the Ansible itself. That's what I thought. Like, let me continue the Ansible and finish it off this series. Actually, this is what I needed. Okay, and so, between this time, right? Many of you have reached out to me over email and WhatsApp and all right, and some of you have eagerly asked me a lot of questions related to all these topics. Some of you have asked me questions on Docker or Kubernetes or Terraform or Git or advanced Linux, right? Some of you have asked me to give the recording of the advanced Docker day two session, right? Because we only covered only one video, that's all. After that, no, I stopped it doing it. So I will continue to do that actually. I will not stop it here. But what many people have asked me, right? So some of you have asked me about the Git actually. So only 4 videos are there. What about the continuation? Yes, I know that I have not continued that. So probably from the next week onwards, you would see that regularly I'll be uploading a lot of videos on the Git and GitHub because like I need to complete that series also because I think around 5 to 6 sessions more will come so that it will be around 10 sessions on Git and GitHub. So once this completes, right, you could see that there is one more new series will be added in my like our channel, which is nothing but the Jenkins actually. So Jenkins also, I know many of you have eagerly waiting for Jenkins series to be started up, and some of you have been waiting for a very long time. I know that, and some of you in many of the comments you have continuously asked me about the Jenkins. So I've been telling that like I will record some after some time or later and all right. Things were not working out for me because of many of the like I'm held up with a lot of work actually, office work as well as many other personal works. So I couldn't really concentrate on that. Like, but now yes, I will be doing it now because like after the Git completes, right, guys? So I would be like by next week, right? We will be continuing the Git, not this week, next week, not this week, but the next week. Not this week. This week I'll be busy. Next week, probably from 5th to 10th or 12th onwards. From 5th it starts, sir. So I'll be adding continuously adding videos on Git and GitHub, and I'll try to finish that series actually. So this is the main stuff which I have to cover. Okay, once this is completed, then I will start with the Jenkins actually. So Jenkins is a very important DevOps tool, which is the CI/CD pipeline tool, which we have to cover. So in the Jenkins, I'll be covering from the basic to the advanced level, as well as in the Jenkins. As part of Jenkins, I need to even cover the Maven, Gradle build, right? Even I'll see if I can able to even cover up the make build tool, and apart from that, like I'll be adding the Sonar Cube, how to integrate Sonar Cube Jenkins, right? Why we need to have a Sonar Cube, and we'll also be showing you how to install and configure the Nexus Artifactory, and also how Nexus Artifactory will be integrated with your Jenkins, and then like we'll be getting into this basically how to write a freestyle project and how to convert the freestyle project into the pipeline projects, right? And what is the declarative pipelining, right? Scripted pipelining. So those things and all will be covering. And yeah, I'm just planning to even cover some like advanced topic also within the Jenkins, as well as at the end of the Jenkins series completion, right? I would be adding a small project also just to show how exactly Jenkins works in a real time. Similarly, even in our Ansible also, you could see that after 2 days or after 1 or 2 sessions, right? I'll be adding one sessions on a small mini projects on Ansible, plus one more series or the last series, which is but the tips and tricks series, plus all the intro answers, question answers which are being asked in during interview, right? That also I'll be adding it. So from now onwards, guys, whatever the series which I will be starting, right, you could see at the end, I'll be adding these two videos, videos in each and every series. So one is nothing but the small mini project related to that related to that tool, and the last would be the tips and tricks and the interview and question answers. For each and every series, I'll add it. Once I start the Git, right, during completion of the Git, definitely I'll add that as the last series. Some of you have asked me about the Terraform, right? So because like you said that Rajesh, you have covered all the Terraform stuff, but the thing is that you have not covered the Terraform models. So when you're going to cover that, a lot of people have asked me. Yes, I'll be covering that as a one topic, 1.5 hour, two sessions on, 2 hour session session on Terraform models. As well as many people have asked me that how I can create resource in Azure. You only explained sorry, excuse me. You explained only about the AWS, but not on the Azure. When you're going to cover, yes, we'll also do that. Also, give me some time. I'll be slowly covering those three. So around 4 to 5 videos will come in the Terraform series also, right? And also one project I already covered. I'll add one more project, a mini project onto the Terraform, right? And intro question answers related to Terraform. Okay, so even some people might have asked that when you are going to continue the Linux itself, because like in Linux we have left many topics like advanced topic like sudden awk programming we have not covered, configuring the web server, configuring the Tomcat server, configuring the Apache, or configuring the Nginx servers, right? So even configuring the Apache, sorry, Kafka servers. So there are many things are there in Linux, guys, which we have to cover. But yes, uh, due to time constraint, I'm not able to cover all the things. But yes, in the future plan, I have an idea to cover all those topics. So we have to wait for some time to add all those topics in each and every tool actually. Okay, so now so that's all, guys. I know that a lot of you are eagerly waiting, but yeah, please trust on me and give me time so that I will cover each and everything whatever is required, right? But whatever we have covered, yeah, it is sufficient for you to learn, update, practice, as well as start giving interview. That that much I have already covered in my series, in my channel actually. Yeah, I know that advanced Docker. When we would be covering, if I'm talking about so many things, then when we are going to cover the advanced Docker topic, yeah, again I would request all of you to give me some time so that we'll cover. But basically, at the very initial stage, right, my idea or thought process to complete this Ansible series and Git series. These two are very important, which I need to complete it, guys. As well as actually, I need to start the Jenkins series completely with all the integration of SonarQube, Nexus, and everything. That would be a very big topic. You see that I would be covering Jenkins almost like 20 videos will be there only on Jenkins itself actually. So it will be huge topic. It will be around 20 to 25 to 30 hours of topic will be on Jenkins. Even I do have a plan to even cover up Argo CI/CD, GitLab, GitOps. Those topics also I'm very much eager to cover, but I'll not be able to promise you at the time. So I just updated on all those tools now. So only I have to deliver it to you guys so that that videos would be available in my channel actually. Yeah, Terraform, GitHub, yeah. This all the things, some of the others few stuffs are missing over there. Definitely I will be able to cover all the things actually. Even in Kubernetes also, I know many of you have asked me. There are many of the stuffs which have been missing, right? Like when I start taking the advanced Kubernetes, right? I would promise that definitely I will be covering everything there over there. So until that, you please patiently wait for some time so that I will cover it. Okay, so this is all about which I need to convey to all of you. So now, what would be our today's agenda actually? So in day 19 and day 20, guys, if I remember, like I just started explaining you about like how you can create the resources in your AWS or in any of the cloud using Ansible actually. So Ansible, as you know that you can create any resources using Ansible models, right? Like for example, you need to create a EC2 instance, you need to create EBS, right? Those things and all we have covered, right? How to create a EC2 instance, how to start the EC2 instance, stop EC2 instance, terminate EC2 instance, right? EBS, snapshot, these things and all we had already covered in our previous sessions, right? So, so creating resources any cloud, let it be AWS or Azure or GCP or any cloud, right? You can use your Ansible tool actually. So Ansible will also act like as a infrastructure as a code tool It is same thing like what you have as a Terraform actually. So you have a Terraform, right? So even Terraform also is used for creating resources, but uh, using Ansible also, right, guys, you can create the resources. That's what we saw it. And you know that like whenever you want to like create the resources, right? So here you have Ansible server, and this is nothing but the worker nodes, like worker node 1 and worker node 2, right? So this is nothing but a Ansible server. Already the entire Ansible server is configured and everything, right? This is nothing but the worker node 1 and worker node 2, node 1 and node 2, whatever. And all these servers are having Ubuntu OS, right? You know very well that we have installed the Ubuntu actually here. We can choose any distribution, it doesn't matter actually, but I'm choosing the Ubuntu here, 18.04 something. Ubuntu 18.04 is a version which we are using for installing the Ubuntu. And here on top of this, we have installed Ansible and everything. Before you install the Ansible, you know that the Python should be available. Python 2. Series, 2.8 or Python 3. Series has to be installed it. And afterwards, you have installed the Ansible and it is working fine, right? Now, to make sure that actually that here you have a cloud, you have an AWS cloud, you have AWS cloud actually. And you know that I need to create a resource in AWS cloud. So using Ansible also you can create it, but for doing that actually there are other stuffs which you need to install it actually. You need to install the pip package, as well as on top of this pip package I have installed the Boto library, Boto model or Boto library, Boto model you have installed it. So this is required actually because right the Boto is the one which is going to communicate with the help of the Boto. You're able to communicate with your AWS account like this, right? This we have seen it already, right? So the prerequisite that actually the Boto library should be there. For installing the Boto, you need to install the pip. So we saw all these stuffs in our previous session. So go through the recordings, earliest recordings, so that you will get to know all those stuffs, how I have configured and installed it actually. Okay, so till now, what we have covered here that I have created an EC2 instance, I have created a EBS, as well as I have even created a volume snapshot, as well as I have created a snapshot. So this is what I have covered till now in our, from up to day 20, we have covered up to all these sessions. So in today's topic or in today's agenda, what we're going to cover, we're going to cover again few more stuff like how to create a VPC, how to create VPC, is that creating a VPC, right? So how to delete VPC or how to terminate the VPC or delete the VPC. This is what we'll be covering. Okay. So there are many stuffs are there which we can do it, but we will not be able to do everything. So I'm just giving a baseline. After that, you can play with your own. It means that if you want to create any other resources, right, you can find out in your official Ansible documentation. You can go through it and you can search for that particular model. You'll get to know. You know that in VPC, in in AWS, whenever you want to create a VPC, okay, so you need a CIDR range actually. That's what it is important. You need to provide a CIDR range. After that, what you have to do that, guys, you need to create a subnets. Like you can create as many number of subnets, like subnet 1, subnet 2, subnet 3, right? After that, you need to do a uh, subnet association, and then like you need to even provide the create the internet gateway, IGW called internet gateway, so that you can route all the traffic from your subnet to the internet gateway or to the outside world, right? So this is all we are actually configuring when you're working with the net, when you're creating the VPC, and you are actually, when you're creating VPC and creating subnet and all this and all, you have to do it actually. So to do this, to do it all these things, we have one model known as EC2 underscore VPC model. So this is the model, guys, which is this Ansible model, which you use to create all the stuff. It means that with this single model, you can able to configure all these things. Actually, you can actually create the subnets, IGW, do a subnet association, everything using the EC2 VPC model. Actually, so if you go to the Google and if you just type Ansible EC2 underscore VPC, yeah, it is showing me VPC model. So you could see that this is the model, guys, actually, which is being used actually. Okay, configure the AWS. virtual private cloud VPC, you can create the VPC using this model. But this has been deprecated. Okay, and you could see that it is removed from the version 2.5. That's what he's saying. Deprecated. It means that from the version 2.5 it has been removed. Actually, it is replaced by the dedicated model. Why? Because like there is an alternative model which has been written by the Ansible forum, which is nothing but EC2 underscore VPC net. So if you are using, if you want to create a VPC, you need to use this model EC2 underscore VPC underscore net model. Along with the supporting models, including EC2 VPC IGW, it is used for creating internet gateway. EC2 VPC route table. You whenever you want to create a route table and do a subnet association, right? You need to use this. Whenever before that you need to create a subnet, so you have to use this model EC2 underscore VPC subnet model. So guys, this is what you need to use now actually. Okay, so if you go to a diagram format, right, you need to you need to write a model. So you need to write a playbook file where we are using these models. So if you are using VPC EC2 underscore VPC, it might fail. It depends upon which version which is running in your Ansible server. Okay, so in Ansible server, maybe you might be using a very old version like 1 point series or 2.2 or 2.4 series or whatever Ansible server version that might not support this EC2 VPC. It might fail actually. So that's the reason, guys. Go with ahead with this models actually. Okay. So what we would be doing now that we will be writing a playbook now to create a VPC. Before that, so let me show you that in my AWS account, I have these two servers, Ansible server and Node 1. So these two servers are there. It is up and running here, right? It is up and running here. Correct, guys? So you know that in the Ansible server, I have configured, this is my Ansible server. I have configured the Ansible, right? And this is the worker node 1 and worker node 2. I don't have other worker nodes. So I just maintain only one worker node, which is nothing but node 1. Okay. So now this is one thing. So let me do one thing, guys. Let me log into this server. So I'll just click on this. I'll copy this public IP4 address. Go here, open the putty session. So I'll just paste it over here. So let me first go to the well, make it as a none because I don't want any kind of a volume or the sound which comes with the terminal. That's what I have disabled it. Now after that, I'll go to the appearance, change over here, go to make it 14, color. Okay, use it because guys, I already have configured for the roots user account password, right? I need not to provide any auth key. I need to provide any, like authentication private key ppk file. I need not to mention anything here because I know the roots password, right? So this is IP address you have copied and you have did the appearance as well as color everything and then just open it. So you open it. Now I log in as a root and provide the password. So now you are able to log into this Ansible server machine. Clear, guys? So this is what one server. So let me do one thing, guys. Let me create one more duplicate of the same so that I need a multiple sessions today. So root and provide the password. So let me provide the password. So I'm able to log into this. So I'm having the same two instances actually in the Ansible server. Okay. Now this is one thing. Okay. Now, so I need not to log into node 1. So whenever I need it, I'll appropriately log in. But right now I don't need this. So I'm not logging into the node 1 server. Okay. Now, if you see the EC2 underscore VPC, the older Ansible model, you could see that actually it requires a Python 2.6 and it requires a Boto and it needs a version greater than 2.5 or something like that. So let me check what is the Ansible version which is running in my system. So Ansible-FN version, if I execute right, it is showing 2.9, right? So 2.9 means actually it is greater than 2.5. So it has been removed from that. So if I'm using this model, definitely the Ansible play profile executor, it will fail because here right now I'm having a very high version of Ansible, right? So that's what, and you know that actually under etc Ansible host file, you are maintaining the host here because that want to create a you want to create the resource in AWS, right? In under etc Ansible host file, you have to always maintain a localhost. Localhost means that you are running the playbook here itself. You are not running any playbook at any node. If you are making to execute any playbook in a node, right, here you need to mention the node's IP address, right? Node 1 IP address, node 2 IP address that you need to maintain. I'm not doing that. You are maintaining the local host as nothing but your local IP address. Your Ansible server's local IP address itself, you need to maintain it. That's what you have to maintain under etc Ansible host file. So now coming back to here in the documentation part, guys, EC2 VPC, if you come over here, you could see that actually you need to provide the AWS access key and secret key, AWS secret key. That's what for the authentication purpose, you need to pass these two values. And after that, you need to mention the CIDR block. This is in the older, guys. This is the older. I have not yet come to this new one. The new one is ETC2 underscore VPC underscore net. This I have to come, but I'm just explaining you in earlier how things were happening. Is that you need to provide these parameters while writing a playbook file. CADR block, come down here, internet gateway, you have to mention as a yes. What is the region? What is a route table? You need to mention everything. Route table means basically you need to mention all the subnets actually. And then you need to provide the state, you need to provide the subnets, you need to provide, that's all. You need to provide, I think that's all. So those are the details you need to provide it for creating a VPC as well as creating a subnet as well as doing association as well as creating a internet gateway. All those stuffs, config and everything at a shot, you can able to do earlier with only one module actually. Now what happened, right? Those models have been, they were having multiple different models. You need to use all those separate models to create whatever you required it. So right now I need to just create my VPC. So you have to use EC2 underscore VPC net. So let me copy this and let me go to the Google and I'll just say Ansible EC2 underscore VPC module like this. Just to type it, guys. Like this. So you could see that EC2 underscore VPC underscore net. This is what it is configuring the AWS private cloud. Yeah, open this documentation. This is the model which you need to use. And if you come down, it expects the Python 2.6 version Boto, and this is a newer version. This is a newer one, and you need to use these parameters to create the VPC. So I will be using some of these parameters in my playbook file to create the VPC. Okay. Now here, go back to your AWS console. Now here, okay, this is the instance. Suppose I want to check the VPC. I'll go to the VPC and I'll just open a new tab. Open a new tab. So I'll go to the VPC here. Now you could see that this is the default VPC which is provided by the system. So there are no VPCs. There are no new VPCs. So these are default VPCs. And you could see that you go to the subnets. These are the default subnet is there. There are no other subnets there are no other subnets are there. Only these are system default subnet, internet gateway. Okay, this is the default internet gateway which is provided by the system or which is provided by Amazon. So there is no internet gateway. So nothing is there, guys. Right? So VPC is also nothing. So now what we will do, we will write a playbook file to create a VPC. Okay. So now what we will do, I'll go back to my Visual Studio Code here. So let me do one thing. Let me create a separate file, a new file by name AWS underscore VPC, like create VPC, AWS underscore create VPC dot YAML. So you know very well that whenever you are creating any playbook file, it should always starts with 3 hyphen. So state that it is a beginning of your beginning. It begins with the Ansible playbook will always begin with the 3 hyphens. So to say hyphen hosts all. You can either say local host, or you can just say all. Here in this case, I can use all. Then become become as a root user or become as a sudo user. Then task. From here, give two space 1 2 hyphen EC2 underscore what is the model name VPC underscore net, right? So just to confirm that EC2 underscore VPC underscore net, yeah, this is the model which I'm using it actually, right? Now here, from here, give two spaces AWS underscore access underscore key. So guys, make sure that you shouldn't do any spelling mistake. That's the reason always refer to this document. If possible, just try to copy this and paste it like that. No problem. So AWS underscore access underscore key. What is AWS underscore access underscore key? So I've already noted down. I have created an IAM user. So with the help of that IAM user, I have created my access key and secret key. That is what I'm using here. AWS access key. Then what else you have? AWS underscore secret key. Yes. AWS underscore secret key. Underscore key. What is secret key, guys? This is the secret key. Okay, fine. Now, what else you need to provide the details? Like if you come in the documentation, you have to mention the CADR block actually. Okay, CADR underscore blocker. Okay, block. You can copy paste, no problem. So what is CADR block? So let me give the CADR block IP of 132.22.0.0/16. This is what the CADR block I'm giving. After that, you need to provide the I don't want to give all these things stuffs, guys. I can give the name actually, the name. So something like this could be something like a production VPC, production VPC. Okay. After that, what is it? After this name, you have a region actually. So I'll give the region. So in which region, guys, you are working? So you are working under your Oregon. Oregon is nothing but it is the region. You have to give US-West-2. So US-West-2. This is what the region you have to give, provide. After the region, I think you need to provide the state or something. Let me check. Yeah, state you need to provide. So the state you need to provide as present, right? It means that you are creating a fresh new VPC. So you have to provide a region. So after that, present after the state actually, guys, you need to provide what else you need to provide? State tag, that's all, guys. So you can create so state tags, you can, so he's saying alias resource tag, so I can use this resource tag also. So alias name is resource tag, so instead of using tags I'll just say resource underscore tags. So give two spaces, name, I can give the same name, production VPC. So what are things, guys, we have written? We have used AWS access key, secret key, CADR block, a region you need to provide, name you need to provide, as well as the resource tag. That's all, guys. This is what you need to provide. So let me do the thing. So let me copy this whole stuff, guys. So let me see if I've did any mistakes. So this is aligned. Okay, this is two space. Fine. After the task, you are given two space with hyphen. Yes, perfect. So you have to just copy this stuff. So I've already logged into my Ansible server. So you know that there's a directory by name Ansible examples, Ansible examples. Under that, even I have created AWS EC2. Here, let me create a this AWS underscore create underscore vpc.yaml file and just paste it here. Okay, simple stuff, sir. Then what happened, right? I will save this file. So now what I'll do, I'll just say Ansible hyphen playbook AWS underscore create underscore vpc dot YAML hyphen syntax hyphen check. So just checking the syntax. Okay, there is no issue with the syntax. So let me run this playbook file. So this playbook is getting executed. Yes, it has created it. So let me go back here to my AWS console. So here I've already into the VPC. Let me refresh it and see if any new VPC is created. Now you could see that it is created a new VPC with the name production VPC. That's what. If you don't want it, you want to remove it, you know very well that you can go back here, open the same stuff again, and then instead of present, you can make it as an absent. It means that basically you need to remove the VPC, means you can make it as an absent and save this file and rerun this playbook one more time. So yeah, of course, the name has to be changed because it should be AWS underscore delete underscore VPC, right? Or remove underscore VPC. But I'm just telling you that in the same file, I have just changed from present to absent in the state and just run it and come over here and then again refresh it. Now you could see that it has gone. So it has been removed. So that's how, guys. So now you come over here again, you uh, make it as the present so that you can create the VPC one more time. So run this playbook again. Okay, guys. So you have created the VPC. Go back here again, do a refresh. So now you could see that VPC has been created, which is number the production VPC. So the next comes actually that what else you have? You need to create a subnet, right? There is one model known as a EC2 underscore VPC underscore subnet. So this is the playbook file. Sorry, this is nothing but the model which you use to create a subnets actually. Once you create a VPC, later you need to create a subnet, right? So I can use this model. Go here, just go Google it out, Ansible VPC EC2 VPC subnet model like this. So you will get the model guys. See EC2 underscore VPC underscore subnet. You can open this and you can go through this whole documentation. So let me know then. Let me create. So what I have to create, guys? I have to create one more AWS underscore create underscore uh, subnet dot YAML. So let me do one thing, guys. Let me copy the same content because I need this access key and secret key, guys. That's the reason let me copy this whole stuff actually, so that I have the reference of that code. Yes, and I can remove all these things. I don't want all these things actually. So let me remove all these things. And what is the model name, sir? EC2 underscore VPC underscore, sir. EC2 underscore VPC underscore subnet I have to use, right? Subnet is the one, right? So yeah, I have to use that model, subnet. Correct. And this access key and secret key are same. What are the other stuffs are there? Here, when it comes to the EC2 VPC subnet, right? You have access key secret, you have AZ. AZ means availability zone actually. So what is availability zone? Availability zone means basically, guys, you know very well that you are into the region known as a Oregon region, and the code of the Oregon region is US West 2. But how many availability zones are there? If you go to the EC2 dashboard, actually, this is EC2 dashboard. If you come down, you could see that these are the zones, availability zones. The availability zones are US West 2A, 2B, 2C, and 2D, and this is the zone ID. So I'll be using this as a zone availability zone, US-West-2A. So what is it? US-West-2A. This is what the availability zone you have to use, and what is the CIDR for the subnet you're using. So I have created a VPC the with the with the CIDR as 172.22.0.0. So this, within the same CIDR, right, I'll be creating a subnet also 172.22.1.0 slash 24. Afterwards, you need to even mention the region, which is nothing but US hyphen West hyphen 2. And then you have to mention the state as present. And then like you need to provide one more thing as a VPC underscore ID, because under which VPC you are creating. So you need to provide the VPC ID. So go back here. So here, this is something VPC ID. Copy this VPC ID. Because you're creating a subnet under a particular VPC, right? So you need to provide the VPC ID. So let me check. Okay, it's correct. After that, you need to create what is the name. So you can use the tag or resource underscore tags and give two spaces, name, something like what is the subnet name you have to app subnet. I'm creating with this subnet name, app subnet. So here, so this is what it is used for creating subnet, guys. So come over here, and if you go for your subnet, you could see that there are default subnets are there. There is no subnet with the name app underscore subnet. So what I will do, guys, I'll just try to copy this whole code now. Copy this whole code. Go back to your Ansible server. Create AWS underscore create underscore subnet dot YAML file. Just paste this, guys. That's all. So the model is EC2 underscore VPC underscore subnet. This is a model, and this is all the parameter you need to pass it, guys. So here is the very important that you need to even mention the availability zone also, right? So let me save this file, and let me run Ansible hyphen playbook AWS underscore create underscore subnet dot YAML hyphen syntax hyphen check to verify the syntax check. So everything is perfect. So I'll just try to run this playbook file. So it has created a subnet. Let me go over here to my AWS console. Here, let me refresh it and see that it has created a subnet with the name app subnet. So whatever you have given the name as right here, right tag, right, with that subnet, it has created a subnet. Actually, it has created a subnet, right? And you could see the availability zone is USFN WestFN 2A, right? Same stuff. If you don't need it, actually, you can remove it. So how to remove it? You know very well that you need to open the same file, and instead of present, you need to mention it as a absent one. Save this file. Again, rerun that playbook. So that this time it is going to delete that VPC, sorry, subnet actually. So here you're in subnet, refresh it again, so that will get removed. Same thing, you can even run your playbook file for deleting your VPC also is. So instead of present, make it as absent. As well as from playbook and just run the playbook. So already under the VPC, you had the production VPC. Now the production VPC has been removed, right? See here, the playbook has executed and it has removed that VPC. So these are very simple example, guys, to just show you how to create a VPC, how to create a subnet. What you can do, guys, you can go ahead and you can try out with other models also, like how to create a route table, how to create the VPC DSF option, how to create an ad gateway, how to get an NCL. Everything is very simple, guys. You can just go and create by using all these models. Okay. So this is all about, guys, to create how to create a VPC uh, resources in AWS using Ansible. This is very important. You know that Ansible is not only the configuration management tool, it also acts like a information as a code tool also. Same thing like a Terraform, what we have, right? Or else in AWS itself, we are having cloud formation. But doing automation or doing CI/CD pipelining, right? There are a requirement comes where you need to create a resources as well as you need to do a deployment, right? So instead of using two tools, right, Terraform and Ansible, right, I can achieve everything with a single tool by using Ansible itself. First, create the resources and later do the code deployment. Means install the servers, install the Apache server and everything, and then do the deployment of your application. So you can do everything very nicely by using only one single tool, that is Ansible. That's the reason Ansible is very, very, very favorable, like when it comes to the like resource creation as well as in deployment, right? Ansible we use a lot actually. So with this, guys, we will be concluding our Ansible usage for your resource creation in AWS. So I would be covering like how to create a Azure resources and everything using Ansible in some time. Okay, but right now for the AWS we have covered. There are many stuffs are there, guys, but you can try out by your own. Actually, that's what I said earlier, that there are many models are there where you can play with that so that you can create as different resources whatever you need in your AWS by using Ansible. Okay, so now this is what it is, and now what are the other topics which we will be covering as part of today? Okay, other topics. So there are a lot of other interesting topics are there, guys. So what we'll be covering now is that actually using Ansible we can create the Docker container. We create a Docker container using Ansible. This is very important, guys. So you have seen many times that like you need to create a Docker container also. You can either create by yourself by in your command line, right? Or either you can just create a Docker file, and with the help of a Docker file you can create a Docker image and then run the Docker image. It means that you have to use the Docker command to create a Docker image. So is there any possibility that using an Ansible I can create a Docker container and I can deploy an application within that container and make it run? Yes, it is possible, because Ansible has a lot of models, and one of the important model where the Ansible uses to create a Docker is nothing but the model name is Docker underscore container. This is the Ansible model which is used to create Docker container. So now, if you want to understand in a and a diagrammatical format, like let me open one MS Paint. Now, what you have to do is I am having an Ansible server, guys. This is my Ansible server, okay? And let me write down Ansible server. And this is nothing but the node. This is having a node 1 and node 2. Node 1 and node 2. Now, you know that in Ansible server, you have installed Ansible. The Ansible server is up and running, right? You install, configure, and everything, as well as you have maintained the inventory also, where in that inventory you have maintained the IP address of both node 1 and node 2, right? You have maintained the IP address of both node 1 and node 2 so that the Ansible server can connect to this node 1 and node 2 for running any playbook file. This we know that from the day 1 onwards we have been learning this actually, right? Now, what is your requirement is that actually you will say that, okay, Rajesh, I need to write a playbook file such a way that such a way that it should go and create a Docker container in this node 1 and node 2. So Docker container need to be created in this node and node 2, right? So for doing so, you need to use this model Docker underscore container. You need to use this model. You can go to the Google also and just say Ansible Docker underscore container model. So you could see that Docker underscore container, it manages the Docker containers. And this is what the synopsis is all about. And here he is saying that what are things he needs actually. Docker py Python is required, yes. Docker API is required, as well as the Python is required, and these are all the parameters you have to pass while creating a, or these are the for creating a playbook file. You need to pass all these parameters. You have to use all these parameters, guys. So the list is huge actually, but I'll not be using everything. I'll be using a very few stuff just to show you basically how to simple Docker container. So I'll be using that actually. But yeah, you can actually. So now, so what is main important thing stuff over here is that actually, guys. So here to achieve this, basically you need to install the Docker actually. That is very much important. You need to install Docker in all the nodes actually. Even suppose you want to create a Docker container here itself in Ansible server itself, you in that way also you need to install the Docker. Docker is very much important. You need to install the Docker actually, right? So to install a Docker in our Docker session, we already covered all those things, but in a very simple or easy way, you want to install them is basically you can go to the Google and just say git script Docker, right? You can just so just get script Docker. You can just type in the Google. You'll get this link. Open this link, and you can just run this two commands. So curl this one, run this command to get the docker.sh file. And once you get this script, actually, you run this script actually. So this script will make sure that it will install your Docker completely. It will install your Docker completely, right? And then what you have to do that once the Docker is installed, guys, there are few other stuffs are there which we need to install it. Apart from that, one is a Python hyphen Docker package you need to install. So because this is my Ubuntu, right, I will be using a command by name apt install. First, you need to do apt get update, and then you have to say apt get install Python hyphen Docker. This is also very much important. Package also you need to install it, guys, because the this package, if you're not installing, right, it will while running a playbook, it will throw error actually. Same stuff, even you are here also you need to, because if you're creating a Docker container within these nodes, right, you need to install all these packages, apt get update, because even this node 1 node 2 in my case is also Ubuntu only. That's the reason I'm running the apt get update install Python hyphen Docker. This is one package, guys. If it is there, well and fine. If it is not there, it is better to install it at the very beginning itself, right? And as I said, right, Docker need to be installed. Docker, how to install a Docker? You need to run these two steps. You have to run these commands to install the Docker, right? So So what I will be doing guys here, right here in this case, assume that I'm not having any nodes here. Assume that not having nodes. I'm creating a Docker container here itself in the Ansible server itself. By using a playbook file, I will create a Docker container here itself. Okay. So to do that, I have installed to install Docker and I need to install this package. What I have did here, guys, already in my Ansible server, I have installed the Docker. So to check to check whether Docker is running or not, you can just say Docker info. So if you execute the Docker info command, you could see that Docker is already installed in my system. How I did it, the same step, guys. I need to just copy this script by running this curl command. And after I copied it, I download this one, then just do this step. Sh get docker.sh. So it will be, so Docker will get installed. So Docker I've already installed in my Ansible server. You need not to worry. Even this Python -docker package also installed in my system. I have already installed it. Okay. So now everything is ready in my system. I need not to do it anything here. Okay. Or else you can just say docker -fn version. Just check what is the Docker. It is installed. It is installed 20.10. That is what the version which is installed here. Okay. Now what I have to do? I need to write a playbook file. I need to write a playbook file. Suppose like you are writing a playbook file, something like docker.yaml, something, anything. Docker.yaml. Okay. How to write it? You know that always the YAML file will start with the three hyphen, then say -host. Okay. Here I have to mention as all because here I'm creating the Docker container here in the Ansible server itself. I'm not creating any container in the node 1 and node 2. So I'm just creating. So all means you have to mention under etc Ansible host file, you have to mention your local host or nothing but the IP address of your Ansible server itself. You need to maintain it. After that, what else you have? Become, yes, you know very well. And then tasks, TSKS task. Give two space from here, 1 2 hyphen docker underscore container. This is a module guys you have to use. From here, give two space here, 1 2 name. What is the name of the container? What is it with what name? Something like I'm using the web container, right? I'm just saying web contains the Docker name. Name you have to give, and afterwards you have to mention the image. What is the image? So I'll be using the image here, Ubuntu 14.04, the very old image I'm using. And what is the command you need to run actually? So when you're creating a container with the image Docker, you need to run some command, right? So I'll be using some command. So what is the command? I can even give a sleep of something 3600, means that the container will be running for next 1 hour, right? Or else if you want to infinitely run, I can just say sleep infinity. So it will be keep running without any. So this is a simple Docker file which you have Docker .yaml file you have created. Once you have written, you know how to run the playbook file. You could see that Docker Ansible playbook and specify the YAML file that is docker.yaml. If you run this, what will happen, guys? It will create a container. Okay, it will create a container. Now let's see here. Let's go back to my Ansible server. Just see Docker container ls. Is there any Docker is running? No, it is not running. There is no Docker container here. And here, what I will do, I'll just run this. So I think I lost this, guys. So let me open one more terminal. I logged into Ghost. I've logged into. I have two instances of the same Ansible server. So I'll just say Docker container ls. So nothing is running. I can run a watch on this so that while creating it, it will show me the container. So here, what I will do, guys, I'll go back here. So let me do one thing. Let me create already I have a separate folder as a Docker here. Let me create something a docker.yaml file. Right. I'll just say three hyphen hosts all become yes. What else? Tasks. Give two spaces here. 1 2 hyphen docker underscore container. This is what the module name you have to use. From here, do give two spaces. 1 2 name. What's the name? Web hyphen container. I'm just creating some name. I need to give some name to the Docker container, right? So I'm giving the name web container. image you need to provide it. What is the image you need to provide, guys? Ubuntu, anything can provide. I mean, either you can use a busy box or something. Like I'm giving Ubuntu 0.14.04. Okay, one second, guys, I'm getting a call. Okay, so okay, so here, so I'm giving image name as well as I'm giving a command. What is the command you need to provide? Command, as I said, sleep infinity. Okay, what else? We can even provide the port mapping also. So there's one more parameter, the ports actually. Give here, give two spaces, hyphen. So I'm mapping the port number 81 to 80. So this is what the port mapping I'm doing it actually. So guys, that's all. So you need to copy this, the whole stuff, copy it, and come over here in Ansible server. I'll go to the Ansible examples. Here I need to create a mkdir docker. I'll create. I'll go to the docker directory. Here I'll just say docker.yaml file. .yaml. Just paste it over here. Okay, and then just save this file and then run a command ansible hyphen docker, sorry, ansible hyphen playbook, sorry, I'm sorry, playbook docker.yaml space hyphen syntax hyphen check. See, every time I'm running this option, guys, because I want to make sure before it starts, right, I need to make sure the syntax is correct. So right now there are no containers running, that's what I kept as a watch. Now just see how things works here. See, so now I'll just try to, guys, now it is running. So Docker container, see, it has created Docker container. Can you come over here? See, the Docker container is created here. See, this is a container ID. This is the image which is running, and the command is sleep infinity. And you could see that you are also enabled the port mapping, right? And here you could see that the name of the container which is running is a web container. Correct, right? This is how you have created a container with the help of an Ansible actually. Now you want to stop the container, docker.yaml. So what you have to do? That let me do one thing. I'll write it down actually. Docker stop actually .yaml. So it is better that you should have always have a separate file. So let me copy this whole stuff actually, guys. You need to copy this whole stuff into Docker stop. So it doesn't need all this stuff. It doesn't need any port mapping or command or image, right? Only the name is required, right? That's all. And you need to provide the state actually. So what is the state? State is absent. That's always. So copy this. Come over here in the server, pi docker-stop.yaml. So you need to just provide this name of the Docker container, which is not but web container, and state as absent. So now, right now, you could see, guys, this is run up and running. Now we'll stop it. So how to do it? Just run the playbook, Ansible-playbook, docker-stop.yaml file. Okay? I'm just running this playbook file to stop the container. So we go here. You could see it's still running. So it will stop actually. Not stop. Absent means you are deleting the container. So see, that's been removed. Again, you need to create means you are having the same thing, docker.yaml. So you can run this again. See, by default, guys, it is present only. The state is present. You need not to mention it actually, but it is always better that you mention explicitly so that actually your playbook will become more readable actually. By default, it is if you're not mentioning state, it is present only. That is the default status. But still, you need to always maintain this because of making it as a more readability. If anybody is go through your playbook file, they can easily understand that yes, you're creating a container. So docker.yaml. Okay. Now again, you could see that actually it has created a container. What happened, guys? So what happened? Docker container ls. What happened, guys? It was not created. Why? Maybe. Yeah. We need to check it actually. Why it is not created? Okay, I'll do some changes actually. Instead of web, I will use app container. Change the name of app container. Same, let it be image port. Let me do a port mapping from 80 to 82. Okay, and then save this. Again, you run this playbook file. So it has run Docker container ls. Has not created, guys. Why it is not created? It is showing it is executed here, but why it is not created? Is it because of that present? State as present. So let me see official documentation. State present, absent, stopped, started. Present means assert the existence of the container matching the name. Okay, started. Okay, so it is better not to give the state here. So let me run this playbook file again. Let me see Docker container ls. Yeah, it has created. Sorry guys, it's my part. It's wrong. So here you could see that it is created with the app hyphen container as a name, and it is running here. So whenever you want to stop it, same thing. You have to use this like here the state you need to mention as a stop it. That's what in the document it says here. The state as a stopped actually. Okay. So that's what again you need to start means the start you have to mention this started actually. Absent will remove that container. It will kill that container. Okay. Now, this is all okay, fine, good. It means that now within your Ansible server itself, here you have created one container, guys. Here you have created a container. You have created a container. This is a container which is running actually, right? This is a container which is running within your Ansible server itself, actually, within your Ansible server. But this container it is running with the image Ubuntu, right? Right now there are no applications which are being like configured in your container. No application has been configured. It's just like a just running an image with running one command as a sleep infinity, right? So now what you have to do is that you say that okay, Rajesh, I have to do one thing. This is my Ansible server, and within the Ansible server, this is the container you're creating. Okay, fine. I need to install an Apache server here into this container, or I need to deploy an Apache. So what to do that? Can I write a playbook file to install an Apache into this running container? Yes, you can install, you can do it. For doing that, what you have to do that first, the Ansible server, whatever you're having this Ansible server, right, guys? This Ansible server, it has to actually communicate with this container, correct? It has to actually communicate with this container. How usually from the Ansible server to the node communication happens because of this SSH, right? So it means that whatever the SSH you the private key, whatever the Ansible server has, right, that you have copied into this node 1, node 2. That's the reason what happened. Ansible server is able to communicate with the node 1 and 2, node 2. Similarly, the Ansible server, it want to communicate with this container actually, which is running, which is number, the container name is app container now in this case. App container is the name, which is the container name. If you want to communicate it, basically what happened, right, you need to provide in such a way that the Ansible server can authenticate to this container, means that it can reach out to this container and it can work actually, right? So firstly, let us check this container is running Docker container ls, or you can just say Docker ps also, container ps. This container is running fine. So what I need to do, guys, I need to log into this container first. To log into this container, you have to just say Docker container exec exec hyphen it, specify this container id or the name space, slash bin slash bash. Right now you want to log into that container. So I've logged in inside the container. Sorry guys, what I did. Oh, sorry, not exit, exit. Sorry, I'm sorry. I did a mistake. Exec hyphen it. Hold a second. Exec hyphen it. What is the container name? Container ID. This is the container ID. Case slash bin slash bash. So right now you have got inside the container, guys. Actually, now if I execute the ifconfig command, you could see that this is what the container with this IP. Can I ping from my server, from my Ansible server to this container? Can you ping? Just check if you're able to ping to this server or not, to this IP address or not. Yes, you're able to ping. It means that the Ansible server, of course, so the Ansible server can actually ping to this container which is up and running because the container itself is running in the Ansible server. Yeah, definitely you can actually communicate. You can actually ping to it because it is uses the it uses the bridge network. So in the bridge network, you can actually ping to this container, right? So that is fine. Okay, you're able to ping. But now what happened, right? Somehow I need to do SSH to this container so that I need to start working. It means that for making the SSH to enable, you know that you need to install the packages. For SSH to enable, you need to install the packages like open ssh-server, open ssh client. Even I need to even install the Vim package also. Let me install the Vim package, all this package and configure it actually. Okay. So to do that, what I will do guys, actually now that I need to install the package. So first let me update apt get update. So I'm updating the apt repo. That's what I have to run the command apt get it. See guys, I'm inside the container now. In the container, inside the container, I'm doing all this stuff now. So now let me clear the screen. Now I'll just say apt get install open ssh hyphen server hyphen y. So I'm installing this open ssh hyphen server package. Just see that guys, this package is getting installed. Okay, fine. Next, what else? You need to install the OpenSSH client also. I think client is already installed, but still, let me check. Yeah, it's already installed, so nothing to do actually. It's already been installed, so I need not install it actually. OpenSSH client actually. Okay. Then apt get install Vim package also. I will install it, guys, because I need to use a V editor, right? So I'll be using that Vim package also. So let me install the Vim also. So Vim is also getting installed. Okay, guys, everything installed now. Now, what are the other things we need to do? So basically, I need to so I'm setting a root password. So I'll give some password here. Okay, I've set the root password. Fine. What else you need? Basically, you need to allow any kind of a authentication to happen, or the root user should log in, right? So you need to change the etc sss ssd underscore conf file. So this is the configuration file etc sss ssd underscore config file. You need to open this file, guys. Come over here. What else is there? Permit root login. Here you have, right, without password something is there, right? Change it to yes. Here change it to yes actually. Okay, then what else? Come down. So permit there's a more no? Password authentication. You have to make it as a yes actually. Password authentication, yes. That's all. You have to uncomment it, remove the hash, let it password authentication. So these are the two lines you need to change, guys. One is the password authentication. You have to make it as yes. So that means that you have to remove that hash, and that root login, permit root login, you have to mention as a yes actually. That's all, guys. And then save this file. So guys, remember again, I'm doing everything inside the container. Okay, and then you need to start the service service SSH start or restart. So service SSH you have to start actually. So now everything is perfect, right? Now what you have to do, guys, here, being in your Ansible server, your Ansible server should be able to communicate with this container, right? Right. So can I ping it? Can I do an SSH to root at the rate 172 dot, because I know the root password now. Can I do an SSH? See, okay, it is showing me something we have failed. Okay, I'm not able to do here. What you can do, guys, here. So I'll do one thing, guys. So this is failing now. See, SS root at the rate 132 132.17.02. This is the IP address of your Docker container. So first let me ping if I'm able to ping or not 132.17.0.2. Yeah, you're able to ping, but I'm not able to do an SSH. 172.17.0.2. It's showing some error. So I got to know that it is getting the add correct host something, it's saying offending ECDA key and all. So okay, I got the point why it is not working. So in my systems now, I'll go to the SSH directory. Here what I will do, I'll remove everything, guys. Remove everything. Okay, everything I'll remove. Fine. Now what I'll do a SSH hyphen keygen. I'll just generate one more time the public and the private key by using SSH hyphen keygen and say enter. So don't do anything, just say enter, 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 enter. It has created a public and the private key. You go to the cd2.ssh and you could see ls, see, public and the private key has been created. So now what you do, guys, now you need to copy that, you need to copy your RSA key to your Docker container. So Docker container also, you see that cd.ssh, the directory is already there. It's not there, you can also create here also. SSFN keygen, run it, and so it has created a .ssh directory. See, it is having that public and the private. One second, guys. Sorry, guys, got a call. Okay, now coming here. Okay, so coming back here. So what I have to do, guys, basically I need to first check whether I'm able to do SSH or not. So SSH root at the rate, provide the IP address of your Docker container. What is the IP address of the Docker container? 172.17.0.2. This is the IP address, right? So I'll just copy it, and here I'll just say there's a root at the rate. Let me check if I'm able to do SSH or not. So yes, so it is creating a fingerprint. Yes, it'll ask me for the root password of that container. So I'm giving the root password. See, I'm able to log into that container. Yeah, it means the SSH is also working. So whatever the package, if I installed here, right, in the being in the container, right, open SSH client, open a server. That's the reason. If whenever you want to do an SSH, right, those packages should be there in this and the Docker container. That's what I executed all those packages installation I did, right. So whatever this package which I told you earlier, right, you need to install all this package in your container. Okay, fine. Coming over here, I'll just exit out from here. And what else I have to do? I have to do an SSH hyphen copy ID. You know where that copy ID? Root at the rate 172.17.0.2. So I'm copying that key to that server. So I'm copying it. It is asking me for the password for the first time. So let me give the root password. I could see that it has copied the key into this, into this, into this Docker container. Now, what is my requirement is that, right? My requirement is that this container is running fine. This container is running. This container is running fine. In this container, guys, I need to install the Apache server and I need to run and I need to configure and run an application over there or some HTML file I need to copy it. So I need to basically install a Apache package here actually. I can go and directly install it. apt get install Apache 2 like that. I can install it hyphen y. But I don't want to do that because I need to make it as a. I have to make it to run or execute with the help of a playbook file actually. Right? I need to run as a playbook file. So what you will do, guys? Basically, that you need to write a playbook file. One second, guys. Okay, I need to write a playbook file. Now, what I will do here, mm, I'll do one thing, guys. There are two steps are there. One is that you need to write a playbook file. So to install that Apache here and to something like a copy the source code as well as making it run, right? So let me do one thing. Let me do one thing, sir. One important thing that you have to open this etc Ansible host file. What you have to do is you need to give the IP address of that container IP address. This is the IP address, right, of the container because this acts like a node now. So you need to copy this and just paste it here in your inventory, local inventory. That is etc Ansible host. Then I am able to do a ping hyphen ping all hyphen m ping all sorry Ansible hyphen m ping all Ansible all hyphen m ping. I'm able to reach to this, right? Because I have already did a SSL authentication update and SSL copy also I did SSL hyphen copy ID. This and all I have already did it here, right? So that I'm able to do it. Now, basically, you need to write a playbook file. So to write a playbook file, what I will do, right? I will just write a simple Apache.yaml file. Okay. So three hyphens, hyphen host, all, yes, task. So because it is a Ubuntu, right, guys? So I'll give two spaces. I will use a hyphen apt model because you have to install the apt. You have to install the Apache package, so you have to use the APC model. So give two spaces from here. One, two. Give name Apache 2. Okay. Then state as present. What else you have to do? Okay, let me do use a copy model to copy some content. So what you need to copy it from here? Give two spaces. Source from the source code directory, from the source code, copy whatever the content is there from the source code. Where you need to copy the destination is that actually into that server slash var www html. There you need to copy it actually, right? Under that you need to copy. And afterwards, I use one more model, the service model. So that service model, you need to just give two space from here, one, two. You need to restart the Apache server, or you need to start the Apache server. State name as Apache 2 and as state as started. So what I'm doing is I'm running this Apache.yaml in my Ansible server so that it will go and configure or install the Apache here into this container. So what you're doing, guys? So just Ansible example, go into Docker. Inside Docker, you will write from Apache.yaml. So just paste it. Right here, you're installing the Apache, and you need to let me create this now. Source code under source code directory, I need to create one index.html file that I'm trying to copy under this slash var www.html, and then I'm starting this Apache service. Right. So save this file. Before that, what I have to do that I need to create a source code directory. I'll just say mkdir slash source code. So this directory I'm creating, get inside the slash source code directory. Here, what I will do, guys, I'll just say echo welcome to Ansible Docker session something. Redirect it to index.html file. You could see that, guys, index.html file has been created, right? If you see the index.html content, it has this welcome to Ansible Docker session. Like this content it has, right? Now what I will do, guys. So already I have everything now. Now let me do thing. Let me go back to my Ansible Docker, and here I have a Apache.yaml. Let me open again one more time to show you what it has. Yes, it has installing the Apache package, right? Where it is installing under the host, it is Ansible host file. You have mentioned the IP address of your Docker container, right? That's what you did it here, right? And then like you are running this package as well as you are copying this the whole content, whatever is in the source code, right? What are the index.html? You're copying to slash www.html, and then you're restarting the service, right? So let me run this. playbook, Ansible hyphen playbook, Apache.yaml hyphen syntax hyphen check. Right, there is no syntax error. So just run this playbook now. So this playbook running, guys, it is installing the Apache in your Docker container. Sometime it might throw an error here. You have to just watch what is the error, right? If throws an error, it maybe there might be a chance where there might be missing of some dependency or some package not installed. So go ahead and install that particular package, right? Right, updating the cache and everything. I think it has created it actually. So it is saying as a missing dependency Python hyphen apt. Yeah, you can go ahead and install that package also, right? But it has created it. So how to verify it? Go here. So go here, guys, and then like under just check whether slash var ww html. See, it has created this file is there. It means that Apache is installed. And do an ls. Can you see index.html is already there? Cat of index.html. See, it's already there. So now how to verify it? So here you can come to the server and you can just run the command curl and give the IP address of that machine 172 dot. What is it? IP address, guys? 172 dot 17.0.2. See, you're able to access it actually, right? So that's how. This is where you have to confirm that okay, things are working actually. So you could see that it is displaying the content of the index.html file. So same thing here. What happened that you are actually running everything in your Ansible server itself, right? Here itself actually. The Ansible server itself you are running actually, right? So here you can even copy this public IP, okay, public IP, you can copy it, and you could see that if you are seeing, you already did a port mapping, like Docker container ls. See, you did the port mapping to 82 to 80, right? Right. So you can copy that public IP and you can give the port number colon 82 port number. See, you are able to access the same thing in your browser also. So what you can do that tomorrow you say that okay Rajesh, you have that under the source code, you have this index.html file, fine, but I want to replace this with this application with some other application. So what you can do, guys? So nothing, guys. Go here, come back to the Google, just say free sample website. Okay. So go to any of this site actually, free sample website. So I'll go to this site. It's very slow. So you can open any web page actually. You can open anything actually. So I can just go with this decorative service or something or organic vegetable for health. I'll go this for the fish farm. So what I'll do here, guys, I'll go here and so this is very slow. Yes, come over here and I'll just click on this download. Just copy this link address. Come back to my server. I'm the source code. So let me do one thing. First, let me remove all the content, whatever it is there, and I'll do a wget of that URL and say enter. So I've just downloaded that zip file actually, right? So I'll just say unzip of farm fresh.zip. So you're unzipping it. So once you unzip it, you get one directory by name farm organic. Okay, let me remove that farm fresh.zip file and whatever the content you are having under organic, right? Whatever the content, you're just copying it outside here. So you're copying it everything here. See, all the content has been copied. So even let me remove this directory also. I don't need this directory now. So I'm removing this complete directory. So I have this complete source code, guys, now. So now what happened that you are replaced with your normal index.html to your new fresh content actually under the source code. So now what I will do that I'll go back to my Ansible examples under the Docker. You have that apache.yaml is there, right? Again, I will rerun this playbook. So Ansible playbook, what is it? Apache.yaml. See? So I need not to, I mean, I can just run the playbook. You need to just replace with your new application under the slash source code and then just run that playbook one more time. See? So APT is trying to install the Apache. Apache is already installed. It will not do anything here. See, that's what it's showing is the green color. Now you are trying to copy the whole stuff. So copying is taking place now. Copying is being take place. So still copy is going on. Okay, it is done. Copying is done and service is started. Now come over here into your Docker container and also LSC. Everything has been copied over here. See, now come over here to the site and here already opened, right? You just refresh it this one more time. Now you could see that. See, your website first from has been loaded now. See, it's been loaded now. So now you could see that actually with the help of a single playbook file, right? You are able to install the Apache as well as you are able to copy the whole website content and then start the Apache service. This is how, guys, we can make use of this Docker container. We can create a Docker container with the help of an Ansible model, right? Docker underscore container. Okay, guys. So this is all about stuffs actually. So what we can do now, like we can try a few more things actually. Like what we can do it here. Let me do one thing, guys. Let me exit out from here. I don't want this container. Okay, fine. So let me check if the Docker container is running. Docker container is running. I can even run a Docker kill and specify this container ID. You are just killing that Docker container. Now you could see that you have killed the container actually, Docker container less. So the Docker container is no more running now, right? Or else you can run the playbook file itself to kill that Docker container, right? Instead of the state, you have to make it as absent actually, so that you can kill it actually, right? Now the stuff is here, guys. Actually, it is well good that you created a container, right? A Docker container with the help of a Docker underscore container model. Fine. Now the stuff is that actually that here I'm running an Ansible server in a single standalone machine, right? You know very well that okay, this is my Docker container. So this is my Docker server. Sorry, this is my Ansible server. So where my Ansible server is running, right? Ansible server is running, fine. And these are nothing but the nodes. Nodes, nodes are there. Right now I'm not using any nodes over here actually, guys. But still I'm just saying that okay, here I'm having a node actually. Node 1 and node 2. Now the stuff is that whenever I'm installing the Ansible, actually, I need to have a dedicated one server. I need to assign one server. In that server, I need to install all the packages and everything. And finally, on after installing all the package, I need to install the Ansible and you need to configure the whole Ansible. So this entire server will become an Ansible server. Correct. But there are times what happened that where people used to install any tool, like let it be Jenkins tool or let it be Ansible tool or let it be Sonar Cube or let it be like Nexus Artifactory. We used to separately install in a physical server itself or into the VM itself separately. But now things are getting changed because all these tools and everything are installed inside a container actually, inside a Docker container. Now you say that Rajesh, Ansible server is there, fine, but why need to have a dedicated server, a single server for the Ansible? Can I have a container itself? Can I create a container? Yeah, you can create a container. Inside the Docker container, inside the Docker container, can I install the Ansible server? Yes, sir, you can do that actually. You can install the Ansible server. So first, let me create a Docker container. Inside that, you need to install and configure the Ansible server. And then what happened at this Ansible server, right? You can create a key and all, and you can copy that key, private key to this nodes and all. And then like this Ansible server can run any playbook file to this nodes actually. So this is how like in industry it is working now. It means that you are not dedicated any single server for configuring installing that particular tool. You are having a container itself. So within the container, that particular server is running. Like same thing. Suppose I want to install the Jenkins. I need not to have a separate server. I can create a container, guys. I can create a container. Inside that container, I can install the Jenkins package and I can configure everything here. I can do all this. So a container will be running, and we see the container inside the container Docker package or the Docker app, the Docker tool or the Docker application. Sorry, the Jenkins tool or the Jenkins is running actually. So this is very important nowadays that everything, all your even your build tool, like let it be like build tool. I have a Maven. You need not to have a separate server Maven tool. You can have a container. Inside the container, the Maven is configured and is up and running. Similarly, inside a container, Nexus is running. Inside a container, like Kubernetes is also running, right? You can even make a Kubernetes master to run inside a container itself. Everything you are making it as a lightweight so that it can execute within a container. So can I do the same stuff over here also? Yes, you can do it. What I can do that within my existing Ansible server, I can create one container. Inside a container, I can install the Ansible package and I can make Ansible up and running. So how to do that actually? So to do that, let me first create a Docker container. How to create a Docker container? So if you execute a Docker container ls, no containers are running. Either you can run a playbook file to create a container, or else let me create in a command line itself. Docker container run -it -fn name. What is the container name? Ansible server is something like a container I'm creating. Okay. What is the image you want to give? So the image what you have to give is, guys, the image you need to give the image as, one second guys, I'm getting one more call. Sorry, too many calls I'm getting. Yeah. So now coming here, so Docker container run -it -fn name Ansible server, and you can give the image name as Ubuntu 14.04. So here you have created a container. So one container is up and running now. Okay. So container is up and running now. So now what you can do that, if you check the if config command, you could see that this container is having this IP address like 172.7.0.0. Fine. Now you want to run an Ansible server within this container actually, right? If you go back to here, you go to the other terminal, and if you do a Docker container ls, you could see that one of the containers is running this Ubuntu, and the name of the container is Ansible server, and it has been up and running from last 26 seconds actually. And this is the container ID, right? So now what I will do, guys, I being here, I need to install the Python. Okay, fine. I have to install the Ansible server, and I have to install the OpenSSH client, OpenSSH server, Vim, all those things I have to install here. So what I have to do that? First, I have to say app get update, app get update. Good. So then app get install, open SSH hyphen server, then Vim package, everything I'm installing at a shot, everything, right? So install app get install OpenSSH hyphen server. So OpenSSH hyphen server is installing. Then you are installing the Vim package also. So everything I'm installing here, guys, actually. Okay. And also, you know that before you install an Ansible, you need to install the Python actually. Apt get install Python -y. So I'm installing the Python package also. Oh, Python is already installed. Very good. So Python -fn version. So it is already installed, right? So what you have to do that you have to install the Vim. You need not install OpenSSH client. It's already installed. But yeah, just let me check. You need not install it, but OpenSSH client. I think it's already there. You need not to worry it. Yeah, it's already there. What else you need? You need to install the Ansible now. So apt get install Ansible-y. You are installing the Ansible package. See, you're installing the Ansible. So for the Ansible, it needs the Python. Python is already there, so that's the result. Ansible, you are installing it. So Ansible is installed, guys. So if you execute the Ansible -fn version, now you could see that the Ansible is already installed actually. Ansible Ansible -v. So Ansible is already installed. See, the Ansible is already installed, guys. -v option. Ansible is already installed, right? Now what you have to do that, like because you need to even you need to create the password. You need to set a root password. So I'll just say passwd. I'll give the root password here. So I've set the root password. Fine. I've set the root password. Now open the etc ssh ssd_conf directory. So here also the same stuff. Come over here. Permit root login as yes. And then like come over here. Where is that, guys? Actually, one more is the password authentication. So just to remove this hash comment. And then say save this file, right? And then say service SSD SSH start. Okay, you started the service. Now, what else you need? You need to create an SSH key, right? Private key and the public key. So you have to run the command SSH -key. Enter, 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 enter. So you have created. Now, see what I'm doing in the diagrammatic format. If you see here I've installed the Ansible server, which is running in the container actually. And I've configured SSH and everything. I've configured, even I've created a public key and the private key, everything I've copied it. Now, can I able, so now what happened at this, whatever the Ansible server which is running here, inside that I'm running as a container, and within that container, I'm running an Ansible server as a application within the container. So what I'm trying to do here, sitting here, can I communicate with these nodes? Yeah, you can communicate with the nodes actually. You need to have an IP address of this. You need to communicate with the nodes, right? Or else let me do one thing. Let me communicate with the base Ansible server, right? Whatever the base Ansible server is there, right? Let me communicate from my container to this base itself, whether I'm able to communicate or not. First, let me check that. So what is the IP address of my Ansible server, guys? Execute the fconfig command. So this is the IP address, right? 172.31.21.53. So this is my container which is running, right? I'm able to ping to this IP address. Yes, you're able to ping to this IP address. Good, well and good. You're able to ping it. Fine. Now what happened, right? For making it a communication, right? For making it as a communication, guys, you need to copy the RSA key from your container or from your inside the container, whatever the RSA keys are, right? You need to copy it to your local server, not but your base Ansible server, you need to copy it. So for that, you need to first generate the SSH keys and here, being in your here. Okay. Oh, it's already created, right? Sorry, I think I've already created. I think, yeah, it's already created. So let me go to .ssh here, and it is already there, guys. Sorry. Now I'll do a SSH and copy ID, right? Root at the rate. You're just trying to copy. So copy it. Say yes. Provide your Ansible server's root password. Yes, you have copied it. Now, are you able to do an SSH? See, when you do an SSH to this, it will not ask you any password at all. You are doing a passwordless authentication. See, you're able to directly log into the Ansible server. See, by doing SSH root at the from being inside a Docker container, you're able to do it. Now, what you're doing, guys, here, you need to in your Ansible server. So this is my Ansible server. Can you check is there any Apache installed slash where www? See, the package is the Ansible is not installed over here. So what I can do, I can write a simple playbook file and I can run a playbook file here itself within. So what you're doing here, guys, here you're writing one playbook file inside the Docker container itself. You're writing a playbook file here. You're writing a playbook file here, and in that playbook file, what you're doing that you're writing a playbook for this Ansible base server. What are the Ansible base server is there? In this Ansible base server, you are actually installing the Apache package. You have to install the Apache package, and also need to start that Apache service. That's what you're doing here now. So I need not to reinvent everything. Yeah, but what happened here under your Ansible server, right, which is running inside Docker container, you need to have a host file, right? etc Ansible host file. So what I do guys here, you need to just copy the IP address of your Ansible server. This is your Ansible server. What is the IP address? This is IP address, right? You need to copy this IP address. It means that you need to maintain the IP address of your Ansible servers into your inside the Docker, right? Docker Ansible container inside the Ansible container, right? You are just trying to make an inventory note of your IP address of your Ansible server itself, because basically you need to configure run the Apache, right? So that's what. So can I do an Ansible -m ping all? Just see. Yes, see, you're able to communicate it. Now what happened, right? You can write one playbook file. So I need not to write any playbook file. Already I have a playbook file, apache.yaml. So I'll just copy that same stuff over here. Same thing, guys, nothing to do over here. So I'll copy here inside the container. So I'll just copy it, save it, create one directory by name mkdir slash source code, cd mkdir slash source code, mkdir slash source code, go to the source code directory. Here what you can do that, you can just say echo welcome to Ansible server inside the container something index.html file. So you are having this content, guys. So cat of index.html. See, you are already having this content. Now what happened, right? You are having this apache.yaml file. So here you are running that playbook file now. So how to run it? Ansible -playbook apache.yaml. Okay, what is it, guys? Become is not a legal parameter Ansible playbook file. Okay. Oh, okay. So you're installing and see here. Now you're installing in the Apache package in your Ansible server itself, actually. Okay, you installed it, guys. See here. Come over here. See slash where www. See system. See it has been installed. Now if you do an ls, you could see that that index file also has been copied. Now if you come over here and you can use a run curl command and specify the IP address of your server. This IP address. Do a curl. See curl not found. Okay, let me install apt get install curl -y. Install the curl package in your inside the Docker container, right? You have installed in the curl. Now again you run the curl command. Curl is already installed. See, it is working now. So guys, this is how. So why we are doing this? Why we are creating? Why we are running a Ansible server itself inside a container? What is the need of it actually? See what happened now, guys. In the real time, what happened, right? Uh, Many times what happened, right? So for example, some models, Ansible models will work for some particular version. So just now we saw, right, before this, like just now we saw that your EC2 underscore VPC, right, it was not working for your higher version. Suppose you want to make use of that model. So what you can do that you can create a Docker container. You can install the Ansible of 2.2 version or 2.0 version, so that whatever some specific models are there, right, if that models works for that specific Ansible version itself, then what happened, right, you can have a container, it's Ansible server running inside a container itself actually, so that this models, what are the models it has to be used, right, that can be executed, that can be happily used by your version, right? Suppose assume that tomorrow you need to use some other models where those models are not compatible with the 2.0, it are compatible with the 2.9 or 2.5. No problem. You can create one more Docker container, create a Docker container, install the Ansible server over here, Ansible server 2.5 version or 2.9 version. Okay. Whatever the models which are there at which you want to make use of it, right? Those models will now start working for the version 2.9. So that is the reason, guys, to make it more cost effective, to make sure that you need to have a particular Ansible server to be installed or to be configured, right? You can adapt this using the Docker container. So inside Docker container, you can create an Ansible server, right? So this is one of the use case of where we are using the Docker container, because, right, you can have a multiple different version of the same servers actually. Same thing, you can have Docker container to install the Jenkins. You can even install multiple different versions of the Jenkins server, so that the way user required that he can use of that particular service like that. So guys, this is all about today's session. I hope that you like this session, and so we would be stopping here today, right? What would be covering as a part of next topic, right? So next topic, guys, we would be covering something was the Ansible, the next session, Ansible fork, or we can call it a parallelism. Many people have asked me that, sir, there is a new way of installing Ansible server, a new way of installation of Ansible, so that we can learn it. It's pretty simple, right? By using something like a pip package only, we can install the Ansible server, right? And after that, what we can do next session is that actually we can do a small Ansible project actually. Let's see how exactly Ansible works. So this is what will be the topic for our day 22. Day 23, we will be learning about the Jinja templating, as well as we can write a role for installing the Tomcat. For installation of the Tomcat, you can write your own role. So that we would be covering actually as part of this one. In the day 24 session, right, we will be covering few more topics. And the day 25th session, we will be ending up by with the recapping of the all stuff what we done, and then like interview question answers, tips and tricks, that and all we can cover. So this is what, guys, which we will be covering. Okay, and if anybody is having anything to be anything which is missed out, do let me know in the comment section, so that I can cover that topic in my session. Okay, thank you, guys. Thank you all. Bye. Thanks for the play. Bye. Thank you, Nilesh. Bye.